key to mastering discipline is changing who you are, because when you become a disciplined person, you're naturally going to have disciplined actions. That's what I believe separates me. If you know me, many people know me as a healthy guy. Like, I eat healthy foods, I'm very strict on what I eat. So because of that, people naturally have expectations towards me. They say, okay, he's not going to eat any sweets. Okay, he's not going to eat any junk food. And because of expectations, I want to live out the identity other people see me as. So now I'm motivated to have disciplined actions. And the great thing is, we don't need other people in order to have that sense of obligation. We can have an opposed identity upon ourselves. When we see ourselves as healthy people, we're more likely to eat healthy foods. But that's where people fail. Instead of having positive identities for themselves, they attach negative and self-imposed limitations upon themselves. They say, man, I'm never going to get a six-pack. Man, I'm never going to hit my weight goals. I'm never going to do this. And because of that, they see themselves as less, and they start having actions that back up their belief, so they convince themselves to doubt themselves. See, trust is the certainty that comes from believing evidence. When you have more evidence you have to believe, you're more likely to trust and have confidence in that thing. For example, with basketball, I love basketball, and if I make 10 3-pointers in a row and someone watched me do that, well, they have evidence that they can believe to say, hey, he's a good 3-point shooter. At the same time, this doesn't happen, but let's say I miss 10 layups in a row. Well, now if someone saw that, they have evidence to believe that I'm a bad basketball player. And that's how so many people live. Because they have such bad identities and live according to that, well, by their actions, they show that they can't trust themselves to get a different result. If I see myself as an unhealthy person and I eat unhealthy food, even though I may have a goal of being a healthy person, because of my actions, I trust that I can't do that. I doubt that I can have a different outcome. So what do we have to do? Well, first, we have to shift our belief. We have to see ourselves as the healthy person, because your actions follow your belief. Once again, you see yourself as that. You're gonna have actions according to that. And guess what? Now you trust yourself to have that outcome. See, it's all about proof. When you have more proof, you have more evidence to believe that you can trust yourself. And by trusting yourself, you're gonna be more likely to have your actions align with the identity that you want to have for yourself. Now, another reason why people lack discipline is simply their motivation. See, motivation is the product of aligned perspective and values. When your perspective and values align towards a goal, you're going to have a sense of motivation to reach that goal. For example, going back to basketball, my goal in the past was to play in the NBA. Right? And I had the perspective of, if I work out, I'm going to get better at basketball. And I had a value on becoming a better basketball player. So because I had an aligned perspective and value, I had motivation to work towards my goal. And that gave me discipline, even on the days I didn't want to. Like, I didn't always want to work out, but I had the motivation and discipline to do so because of my perspective and value. And what is perspective and value? It's a product of the person you become. Again, seeing yourself as a healthy person. Your perspective is, if I continue to work out and continue to eat right, I'm going to reach my goals. And you value having a healthy body. So because that aligns, you're now motivated, and that gives you more discipline. So we have to align our perspective and values. Now, another thing is motivation in the sense of a why. It's why you're doing what you're doing. Because I love what someone said. It said how if you have a strong enough why, you can overcome any how. Like, it doesn't matter the obstacle in your way. If you have a big enough reason to get over it, you're going to find a way to get over it. That's the power of why. I love how Eric Thomas summed it up. I'll show you this video clip.
The lion does not need to be pushed. The lion does not need anything external. That thing that it needs is inside. And so every single day, the lion wakes up and he runs and chases the gazelle. Why? Because he realizes that if he is to survive, if his kids are to survive, he must eat. And so you got to do me a huge favor. You got to do me a huge favor. You got to get to the point where you don't need a car anymore. You don't need a house anymore. You don't need to be pushed by anybody anymore. Your dreams, your why is going to push you. Your spouse is going to push you. Your child is going to push you. The need to get better is going to push you. Because you're closer than you're ever going to be, it's going to push you. You don't need anything to push you. Your goals are going to push you.
What is that? That's called a why. The lion looks to his family and says, if I do not catch this gazelle, if I do not hunt today, my family will not eat. And that why motivates him to have the discipline to go out and do what he needs to do, even though guess what? he may not have always wanted to. In the same way, when we have a why, we're going to be disciplined, although we may not always want to. So what should we have our why on? Well, like the lion, you can have your why be your family. If you're in a position where you're the provider for your family, well, choose to have your, that motivates you to put in work. Your why could also be your goal. Like my goal in the past, like I said, was making an MBA. That was my why for what I want to work out. So as I didn't want to work out, I looked to that goal and said, if I work out, I maybe you would get the outcome I want to achieve. So what's my why right now? What motivates me right now? Well, one thing that motivates me is the opportunity of a lifetime. See, I'm Christian and I look towards Judgment Day, where I'm going to give an account of my life. And understanding that, how God sees everything we do, and how I'm going to be judged stricter than a lot of people. One, because I'm teaching people. Two, is because I have more knowledge than many people who have ever lived on this planet. Like people didn't even have access to the Bible before. And I just have a greater sense of accountability. And that is a why. I want to be pleasing to God. I want to be a good servant of God. And that motivates me to have better action. So find a why, and guess what? You have more discipline. Another reason people may lack discipline is because they reward themselves when they don't deserve it. See, Eric Thomas, he's a motivational speaker, and he was giving a me. And someone made to ask them, why are you giving a me? He said, I had to punish myself. I'm not where I want to be, and I wanted to get there. So why do I reward myself for my lack of progress? I love what he said. He said, the reason you're broke is because you getting a award and you ain't working. Like I'm rewarding myself by watching TV, by going and watching sports, by doing all these entertainment things, which is not wrong in and of themselves. But it's weird how we're watching other people win. All these actors make millions of dollars. All these athletes make $1 million. We're watching them win while we're not in a position where we can win. It's weird if you have anything and your family is struggling and you're watching other people succeed while your family is suffering. That's like the lion watching another lion catch a gazelle when their family needs to eat. No, that lion needs to go out and hunt. And that's what some people need to do. Some people just reward themselves, and maybe, dare I say some stuff. Dare I say they reward themselves because they want to procrastinate on putting in the work it takes to get to that position. It's like me making the NBA. I look at other NBA players, I'm like, man, they got all this stuff, and I just watch their lives when I could be putting in work to get me to that position. Another thing is, maybe you just are so just drowned out by your lack of success that you use other people's success to make you have your focus away from your own lack of progress. Maybe that's why you're so engaged in all this entertainment, engaged in all this stuff. It's like an anesthesia. It's like a pain medicine to how you don't want to work out your life like you want it to work out. It's just the reality. Why is the reality? Because I do the same thing. I go on social media, I'm like, oh man, it's not working out for me today. What's that? That's pride. It's a victim mentality. Oh, it's not working out for me. Just gonna scroll and look at other people's lives. Oh man, why do they get this? And why do they get that? Well, you could get the same thing, God willing, if you put in the work for it. It's not like one thing I'm doing this summer, God willing, is I'll be doing a sales job, door-to-door sales, knocking doors. Hey, like any pest control, just knocking doors. And the thing is, that is such a covetousness job. It's so easy to look at the great salesman and look at how much money they're making. Look at how much sales they're making. It's like, man, it's unfair. They're selling the same product, yet better than me. And I could easily have a victim mindset. I could easily turn on the TV at night and say, man, their life is working out, mine's not working out, so I might as well just drown my sorrows in what I'm watching, so I can excuse myself from the fact that I'm not working out. But when I look at the fact that they're putting in more work, when I look at the fact that they're studying more, they're practicing more, they're having more no's, when I look at that, what excuse do I actually have? But I would rather not focus on that so I can blame something else rather than blame myself for my lack of progress. Not that I can control the outcomes I get. I can't control someone saying yes to my sale. I can't control what happens in my life. I may even die tomorrow. It's not in my hands. But what is in my hand is the effort I put in. And if I don't put in effort, there's nothing, you can't get mad at yourself for not getting results for the work you did not do. It's like, I like to say this, desire without work is disappointment. If you have a goal, but you're not willing to put in the work it takes to reach that goal, you're going to face disappointment. So it's better not to have that desire in the first place. It's better not for me to do the sales job in the first place if I'm not willing to put in the work it takes to get sales. But that's what people do. They just expect because they show up to get an outcome. And that's not how life works. It's not how it works. You have to put in the work. I heard schools, they say, hey, we're not failing our classmates anymore. We're not going to fail our students anymore. And guess what the students do? They're settled for complacency. They say, hey, no matter what, I'm not going to fail. So what is the point of putting in effort if I'm going to pass anyway? And people carry that same mindset onto their lives. They say, hey, I'm going to be taken care of anyway. I'm going to be fine anyway. And they get upset when their life does not work because they're choosing not to work on it. But when you change who you are, and when you choose to become more disciplined and become a different person, what's going to happen? You change your actions, and that action leads to better results. You can trust yourself more. You have different beliefs. When you have a why, in a sense of perspective and value, when you have a why, in a sense of your family, in a sense of something that's going to pull you, you're going to get better outcomes. But people just lack that, man. That's the master key of discipline. It's taking responsibility for your life. See, I can give you all the mind tricks in the world, all the things like, hey, perspective and values and this and that. The reality is, you know what to do. You just have to take in the work to do it. And sometimes we watch videos like this because we want to procrastinate on doing the actual work we need to do. And we think this is making progress in life, when reality is, it is not if you're not going to do anything about it. You might as well be watching TV. If it's a sense of entertainment, because you're wasting time if you're not going to make any difference in your life. So what difference do I want you to make? I want you to make this. Don't blame anything in your life, and do not be upset and not getting results if you did not put in the work it takes to get that result. And I want you to choose to have a sense of responsibility for your life. If you do that, you can be on the path of getting better results. You can't control the outcomes, you can't control the inputs. And when you have the right inputs, the outcomes take care of themselves. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. This one is more of a passionate motivation video. If you like this, I can do more of this. This is what you guys want. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next one.